Good morning. Can you hear me? Okay. Thank you for coming this morning. My name is Paulette Jones, Public Information Officer for the Prince George's County Department of Public Works and Transportation. We are Prince George's proud. We are so proud that we have so many of our partners here as we launch this very important initiative. Today, you will hear from the Director of Prince George's County Department of Public Works, Mr. Terry Bellamy, followed by our extraordinary Prince George's County Executive, the Honorable Angela Alsa-Brooks, followed by our state partner, Ms. Chrissy Nizer from the MDOT Motor Vehicle Administration, followed by our good friend and Prince George's County Chair, Todd Turner, followed by Council Member Denny Tavares, followed by Council Member Monique Anderson Walker, and closing remarks from Prince George's finest, our Police Chief, Hank Stawinski. I talked about we're here to launch an initiative, but I did not say what that initiative was. I don't want to steal the thunder, so I would like to ask at this time if Mr. Terry Bellamy could come up and talk about this very important initiative that we're launching today. Please welcome Mr. Terry Bellamy.
Good morning, and thank you for taking time out of your day to come and join us as we talk about something that's very serious, not only to Prince George's County, but to the United States. Traffic deaths are at its all-time high in the United States. The National Safety Council reports that more than 40,000 people are killed in traffic accidents on an annual basis. Our goal is to basically partner with the community and with the agencies to help find solutions to reduce the number of fatalities on our roadways. It is important to understand that it's not all about the car anymore. It's more about moving people to and from places within their communities, from schools to their churches to their shops, and most importantly to the parks where we want our kids to go and enjoy the green space that we present to them. What we would like to do today is to acknowledge that every life is important to us here in Prince George's County. And what we would like to do is to introduce our program, which is Vision Zero, Prince George County. Vision Zero, Prince George County is about 6 facets of getting the community to understand why it's important to share our infrastructure. It's to educate our public of how to use our roadway, to work with our law enforcement community to help enforce our roadway laws and restrictions, to work with our engineering staff to design new roadways to meet the needs of future multimodalism here in Prince George County, to evaluate what we do, to test new ideas, to see if it works. If it doesn't work, what can we do to improve it? To work with our emergency response. Everybody knows that the fire department is usually the first responder to a major crash. To make sure that our equipment and our rescue equipment can get there in a timely manner. And finally, equity. To make sure that the county stakeholders commit to an equitable approach to Vision Zero by having representation from all of the community. It's important not only to worry about the cars, it's important to have partnership with our biking community, with our pedestrian community, with our seniors, and with our transit community. It is fitting that we are here because we're in a transit facility that all the buses from all over the region come to this location. Ride on from Montgomery County, the University of Maryland Transit Service, RTA, Metro, and the bus. And how do most people get here? They walk. And when you look at the street outside, they have to cross a street. And that's where the drivers have to take into account. In order for us to have prosperity in the community, everybody has to be mobile. So I am very glad to be here to introduce for the first time to the community Vision Zero. But this is not new to Prince George's County. We've been doing this for a long time. This is just a new step to improving zero deaths in Prince George County by motor vehicle accidents. So at this time, I would like to turn it over to the person that made this all possible for here in Prince George County. Our county exec, Angela Also Brooks.
Good morning, everybody. What a beautiful day, quite literally. It's so beautiful. It's gorgeous out this morning. And I want to thank all of you for being here. I want to thank Director Bellamy for his leadership. He has done an outstanding job. In fact, on my way over today, I was saying to Director Bellamy, he and his team at the Department of Public Works and Transportation are almost literally on fire. They have done such amazing work. I can already see the results of their work, and I just want to thank him and thank the entire team at the Department of Public Works and Transportation for the amazing job that they have done. They haven't done so alone, because we are joined this morning as well by our outstanding participants in our Summer Youth Enrichment Program from the Department of Public Works and Transportation. We are so delighted and really so honored to have them here this morning. Their presence is important because it is their future that we are talking about, and if they don't know it yet, we also expect them to lead in this area. And so they are here this morning, not only as participants, but as leaders. I want to thank the other leaders who are here this morning from the County Council, who you were here from this morning. I want to thank them for being here and for being amazing partners. I also see that we've been joined by our Sheriff, Melvin High. I want to thank him so much for his leadership and for being here this morning. We appreciate him. And then all of the others who are part of the government. I want to thank all of the various leaders of our agencies who are here this morning. This is an important morning. We are Prince George's proud. We started out that way. And this is just another way for us to express the pride that we feel not only in our community, but the love we have for our citizens and our residents. And even as we celebrate the many things that are going well in Prince George's, it is so important for us to stop and say that we still have a lot of work to do. Today, in our effort to roll out Vision Zero, this is yet another acknowledgement that there are opportunities that we have every day to contribute to the lives of our residents and to move forward in ways that create safety and in a safe environment. So we're here and we're happy to be so, but we're sad as well because there are a number of people who could not be with us today. And in front of me, you'll see shoes that are lined around us. And those are 99 pairs of shoes, men's shoes, women's shoes, and unfortunately also children's shoes, work shoes, play shoes, sandal shoes, sneakers, and even baby shoes. And each pair of these shoes represents the 99 lives that have been lost on roadways in Prince George's County last year. And as you might imagine, each pair tells a story, stories that are unfortunately too well known to each of us. I don't know about you, but looking at those shoes and seeing in particular, there's a pair of little pink shoes that are right out in front of us, is a devastating reminder of the work that we still must do. 3 pairs of those shoes, and there really should be 8 all total, stand out in particular for those of us who remember the way that we ended 2018 with the heartbreaking loss of lives, the 3 Mejia children who were lost in an accident on 210, Route 210. Alexander, Rosalie, and Isaac are represented here. These are 3 lives that were taken from us too soon because one individual made the decision to drive drunk that evening. These 3 pair of shoes and the others that are lined up here are more than just shoes. They represent to us and to their families the birthday candles that have not been blown out, the graduation diplomas that will never be received, the first bike rides without training wheels that their families will not be able to enjoy, the wedding first dances not danced, and families' lives that have been shattered forever. And so we take action because even one pair of empty shoes is unacceptable. And we have decided that we will no longer accept this as our reality. So today we are proud to officially launch Vision Zero, Prince George's County. This is a concerted effort to leverage the resources and expertise of this county government in partnership with the state, our citizens, and community groups to drive the fatalities and serious injuries on our roadways down to the only number that is acceptable: 0. The goal of Vision Zero Prince George's is the achievement of 0 traffic-related fatalities and injuries in Prince George's County by the year 2040. And we will only accomplish this goal by working together. As our transportation and road experts, we've charged Terry Bellamy and the Department of Public Works and Transportation with heading up this initiative and bringing all the state, county, and local stakeholders together to accomplish it. However, it is the case that Terry Bellamy and the Department of Public Works and Transportation absolutely cannot do this alone. We must all play a part in this initiative, and we must also create a culture change where we will view distracted driving and speeding with the same level of disdain that we view drunk or drug driving. As we travel our roads, we have to see walkers and bikers as friends and fellow Prince Georgians, not as inconveniences, but these are our family members, our friends, and our neighbors who are driving on this road. These culture changes must also apply to visitors of our county, and luckily we are not alone in our efforts to achieve Vision Zero in Prince George's. Jurisdictions across our region, including Washington, D.C., Montgomery County, and the city of Alexandria, are all implementing Vision Zero because they too realize that roadway fatalities are not just accidents that happen. They are predictable. And with the right changes to roadway safety and driving culture, they are also preventable. In Prince George's County, our county government will work with our public schools, with bicycle and pedestrian safety advocates, with religious and civic leaders, and with each and every one of you to achieve Vision Zero. And as we go forward, the Vision Zero Prince George's team will be implementing its action plan. That plan will be laid out by Terry Bellamy. They will be reaching out to engage communities across the county, enhance our streets, and secure community pledges to abide by the Vision Zero principles of roadway safety. We can do this together. So I encourage everyone to be a part of this effort. Take the Vision Zero pledge. Talk to your neighbors and children about safety. Share your suggestions and concerns with the Vision Zero team. Overall, do everything we can to make sure that there is never another pair of shoes representing a single Prince Georgian ever again. We owe this not only to those who have lost their lives on our roadways, but we never know when one of these pair of shoes could surely show up to be someone we love or care about. This effort is personal, and I know that each of you will take it that way. Our roadways can and will be safe for everyone who uses them. Together, we can and will achieve the goal of Vision Zero Prince George's: 0 serious injuries and 0 fatalities, because the loss of even one life on our roads is simply unacceptable. Thank you all so much for being here, and together we'll continue to be Prince George's proud. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Christine Iser, and I serve as MDOT MVA's administrator and also Governor Larry Hogan's highway safety representative. Unfortunately, motor vehicle crashes are one of the most prevalent causes of death and serious injury that you'll face during your lifetime. As the county executive very eloquently said, the only acceptable number of deaths on our roadways is 0. And the reality is that no man, woman, or child needs to die or be injured, whether they're driving, biking, on a motorcycle, or walking on our streets. At MDOT, we're committed to changing behavior and making improvements on our roadways to help us reach that 0 death goal. I'd like to acknowledge our MDOT State Highway Administration District 3 engineer, Andre Fortrell, and his staff, who are also here today in support of this vision. Everyone at MDOT, from all of our business units, are committed to making sure that these endless deaths on our roadways are stopped. We are so appreciative and fortunate to have the support of Prince George's County in the area of highway safety. This is not a new commitment. Prince George's County has worked with the Maryland Highway Safety Office to be one of the first counties in the state to create a local strategic highway safety plan in concert with the state's strategic highway safety plan. And we know in this area it's all about partnerships. It's about partnerships at the federal level, at the state level, and at the local level, and working with our communities to make sure that we're all coming together to reach that goal. This new commitment to Vision Zero today is another great step forward, and we stand alongside Prince George's County in helping them to reach that goal. Achieving zero is really all about all of us coming together and taking responsibility for our actions. Each and every one of us, when we get behind the wheel, is in control of what we're doing. Buckling up, making sure that we're always sober when we're behind the wheel, parking that phone and never driving distracted. These are all things that each and every one of us can do to ensure that not only we arrive at our destination safely, but that no one else on the roadway is injured or killed. And please remember to look out for our vulnerable roadway users, our pedestrians, our bicyclists, our motorcyclists. These are very critical individuals who, in a crash with a vehicle, unfortunately do not stand a chance of having a good survival rate. As we said, every single life counts. If that's your family member, if that's your friend, that is a hole in that family that will never go away. That is something that they will live with for the rest of their lives. And so we all stand together, united and committed to the goal of zero deaths. I appreciate you having me here today, and I look forward to continuing to work with Prince George's County to move this goal forward. I'd now like to introduce the President of the County Council, Todd Turner.
Good morning, everyone. I'm County Council Chair Todd Turner. I want to thank County Executive Also Brooks for inviting me and my colleagues to participate in this official launch of Vision Zero here in Prince George's County. The County Council was pleased earlier this week on Tuesday to unanimously adopt CR Council Resolution 59-2019, a resolution sponsored by the County Executive and the entire County Council to establish this Vision Zero program here in Prince George's County. And I will note that I am joined by my council colleagues today, including Councilmember at Large Calvin Hawkins, Councilmember from District 8, Councilmember Anderson Walker, who you'll be hearing from, as well as our host council member today, Councilmember Denny Taveras from District 2. And I know we have representatives from other council district offices here this morning as well. The goal is to eliminate traffic fatalities and serious injuries in Prince George's County roads and highways by the year 2040. While it may seem like a daunting task, but as the county, state, regional, and community partners, it is a task we can and we must accomplish together. Public safety and transportation is a priority concern for this county executive, this council, and our community. The council is proud to support this critical initiative, such as a Vision Zero in Prince George's County, aimed at making our roads safer for drivers, passengers, cyclists, and our pedestrians. We have also seen the efforts to address these issues, but this focuses the entire county government and community on this one goal. We have heard and unfortunately seen far too many collisions, fatal traffic accidents, motorcycle and pedestrian accidents in our county, our state roads, and our local roads and highways. Many of these victims are seared in our memories, just as we see these represented today in these shoes. Whether it's a mother or wife on her way back from work, children riding in the back seat of a car coming back home from church, an off-duty police officer traveling on his motorcycle, or a young man crossing a road while he was jogging. These trends must stop. One life lost, obviously, is one life too many. The county has undertaken other efforts in the past, including adoption of the Complete Streets program to address multimodal transportation between cars, bicycles, and pedestrians on county roads. As a former chair of the Transportation Planning Board, I brought the Smart Street program, which is an education and enforcement program, to Prince George's County for the first time. And we've worked cooperatively with the State Department of Transportation to address those critical areas through a pedestrian and bicycle safety work group over the past 7 years to address those issues, including here on University Boulevard, as well as Route 1, Baltimore Avenue, and obviously Maryland 210 as well. So this is not new to Prince George's County. However, this is a new program for us to join with our partners around the region. I know the Department of Public Works and Transportation, along with the county and state public safety officials, our health department, our Park and Planning Commission, all our county and state agencies, our neighboring jurisdictions, as well as members of this Prince George's community, but we'll be working hard on this important initiative. All of us, as was indicated, must be involved to ensure our state highways, county roads, and neighborhoods are safe and safely traveled. I want to thank you again for this opportunity, and we look forward as the County Council to working together, and we'll be an engaged partner both on the policy as well as the resources available for us to implement this Vision Zero plan. So with that, I'd like to introduce my council colleague, Councilmember Anderson Walker, for her comments. Oh, excuse me, Councilmember Denny Taveras, our host council member here. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Good morning and welcome to District 2. This is a great event. I am so excited. I come to you not only as the representative of this great area where we stand, District 2, but also as the chair of the Transportation, Energy, Environment, and Infrastructure Committee. I just want to say a couple of words about where we are and a little bit about this community. This is a humble community where we stand. We are the densest area. Where we stand right now is the densest area in the whole county. It is also the most diversified. Over 80 to 90% of our population is foreign born, as well as this is one of the powerhouses, as it may be a little bit of a sleeping giant. Right here where we stand is the house of where we have $1 billion of purchasing power within the people that you see walking amongst you. And with that, I just want to say that this used to be the intersection that had the highest pedestrian deaths in the whole state of Maryland. And because we invested in this location by the creation of this transit station, the combination of 11 bus lines here, we were able to reduce and instituting all the barriers that you see amongst you, we were able to reduce the deaths to almost zero. So even when we look at the data of where the highest pedestrian deaths are occurring throughout the county, of the 8 most dangerous intersections, we still have 3 of those intersections in District 2, which are right down the street on Riggs and University with 6 fatal crashes, on Edgar Road and Queens Chapel Road by the Metro Station with another 6 fatal crashes, as well as Queens Chapel on Queens Chapel Road and Chilham Road between Chilham and Hamilton, where we had 4 fatal crashes. So this is about educating in multiple languages, in multiple mediums, to ensure that all of our communities get the message and make sure that we are all safe, and ensuring that things like this are also instituted along I-210 to make sure that 13 fatalities in one location will never happen again. And with that, I just want to make sure that all our public here hears the message, and I just want to translate a little bit about what's happening here today. So, con eso, yo soy la concejal Denny Taveras, represento el distrito número 2. Estamos aquí hoy para reconocer el nuevo proyecto de Visión Cero. Este proyecto es para enfatizar, asegurar que no hayan muertes peatonales aquí dentro del condado. Vamos a estudiar qué podemos lograr para asegurar que nadie cruzando la calle tenga que morir, o nadie en la carretera, Dios libre mal, por un accidente tenga que morir. Y por eso estamos instituyendo un nuevo proyecto que va a ser del condado entero para asegurar que todo el mundo se mantenga vivo y sano y puedan caminar nuestras carreteras y nuestras calles con bienestar. Con eso le digo muchas gracias, gracias por estar aquí y por favor visiten nuestras mesas aquí con el condado y con la concejal y la ejecutiva. Gracias, thank you so much.
Good morning. I'm Monique Anderson Walker, County Councilwoman, District 8, and I am so excited to be here standing alongside our county executive, my county executive, Angela Also Brooks, and DPW&T Director Terry Bellamy. I'm so excited to be a part of this Vision Zero launch, as it's so important to save lives. And this Vision Zero is just that, a vision in the future to have 0 deaths on our roadways. Thank you again for being here today. Appreciate you. I'm excited about Vision Zero because I too see this vision. I'm very excited to simply put, get people to slow down. Pay attention to what's going on around you. Everybody has a role to play. In little over 5 years, we have lost 500 lives on our roadways. 500 lives lost on our roadways. And this has to stop. We can't continue this. What we're interested in doing is initiating several opportunities to educate people. Back in March, I launched the hashtag Driving at Home initiative. The purpose of that is to save lives and change driving culture. Because there's a recognition that it's going to take something within you to recognize the right way to handle yourselves on the roads. And everybody has a role to play. Whether you're in the driver's seat, whether you're in the back seat, whether you're in the passenger seat. You've got a role to play. And as pedestrians, cyclists, and drivers, we all want to be safe. And that's what the hashtag Driving at Home initiative is doing, which falls under the Vision Zero. So the Vision Zero is a vision. And then it's implemented through initiatives. So recognize Vision Zero might be launching today, but this county's had initiatives going for quite some time. It's important to note. I want to say that some of my partners in this initiative are sitting right here today. I'm looking at Fire Chief Benjamin Barksdale, who I want to recognize. Please stand up. He's on the front lines. He and his team are the first ones on the scene, unfortunately, to these accidents. We've also partnered with police, Prince George's County Police, Major Nikki Smith, who's not here today. But I want to say the two of them have, along with me, spoken at several different high schools, school events, various school events, community events, and houses of praise to educate. And this is important, education. That's key to this Vision Zero. What started as something local to this county has actually been embraced in the region. We had City Council member Brandon Todd partner with us. He represents Ward 4 in Washington, D.C., because of the recognition that we share these roads and that safety is all of our concerns, not just this county's concern, it's regional. We've also partnered with Fairfax County Supervisor Dan Stork, and we're very excited about these partnerships because we recognize it's going to take a regional effort to get this process moving and to really change culture and bring attention to how to drive and how to be a passenger in a car even, not to distract others who are driving. Very excited about this. And we're also working through COG. We're very excited about Metropolitan Washington Council of Governments because we recognize that they are so powerful in implementation. And we want this to become something regional, but recognize this started in Prince George's County. This is powerful, and this is the initiative that, everything starts from the top. When our leader started, when our county executive started, she made this a priority. And like good stewards, the rest of us on the county council and others listened to her and said, we're going to implement what she wants. And so this is a brainchild of so many, but very excited that this is our initiative. As we move forward, we definitely want to make sure that we continue to partner within the region and that we continue to educate and engage, because that's important, education and engaging. So we will continue working with our Prince George's County agencies, and we are eager to grow our partnerships to save lives on our roads. Thank you for being here today, and take care. Be safe.
Ladies and gentlemen, señor and señoras, good morning and buenos dias. If you listen carefully to the language around this issue, you will find that collectively we are no longer talking about accidents. You hear us speak about collisions and crashes. That's deliberate, because collisions and crashes are preventable. And that's the message. The reality is that with the leadership that we have seen from our county executive, our county council, and our agency heads, and I want to thank our sheriff, Melvin C. High, I want to thank our fire chief, Ben Barksdale, Tiffany Green, I want to thank Russ Hamill from the city of Laurel, the new chief there, for being here as well. But the reality is that Prince George's County has never been safer, it's never been cleaner, and it's never been stronger. But we can take no solace in that when we see these shoes representing individuals who have been lost and the families that mourn them. One of those pairs of shoes represents a Prince George's County police officer lost just this year in a fatal motorcycle collision. And I took the opportunity to speak to his mom just last week. She is strong, but she is grieving. And that loss has impacted my entire institution. This is important, and our county executive made it clear. She talked about the opportunities that each of us who have the privilege to lead have every day to make a difference. But my appeal to you, all of us in our community, is simple. Well done is always better than well said. Well done is always better than well said. And that's why Ron Weiss needs some recognition, a strong community mentor who's been doing this work for years, raising awareness. Ron, thank you. And since I have the privilege of batting cleanup, I'm going to conclude this way. Understand that while we who lead and we who serve have the opportunity every day to make a difference, I'm appealing to each of you out there. You have that same opportunity to make a difference every day in someone's life by putting down that phone while you're driving, by putting down that phone while you're walking, and never assuming that because you can see someone, that they can see you, and most importantly, to all of us, don't assume that they're paying attention to what you're doing. And that's how we collectively can continue to take one another care, concern, and we can each and every day, each of us, make a difference. So with that, God bless all of my peers in public safety, and thank you to my community for taking this issue so seriously.
Thank you so much. I'd like to, before we move further, acknowledge the fact that we've also been joined by Councilmember Mel Franklin. Please acknowledge Councilmember Franklin. Thank you so much for coming out for this very important initiative as we launch Vision Zero in Prince George's County. At this time, we'd like to take any questions that you may have for this very important initiative. Yes. I can't hear you. Can you? Okay. Okay, so her question is, where are we having the most problems on our state roads or county roads in terms of fatalities? So at this time, I'm going to ask Mr. Bellamy, the Director of Public Works and Transportation, to take that question.
One of the things that we're seeing across our network is that in some cases the design may need to be updated because over a period of time the use of the road changes, meaning that a road might have been built with 6 lanes 20 years ago, but the traffic now has gone somewhere else and that road is just too big. So what we're seeing is that those types of improvement need to be made on both state facilities as well as local facilities. When you look at it holistically, there are more roadways that travel by the public are state-owned roadways. So when the public are out there, they see the big interstates, the highways. But in most cases, both facilities owned by the locals as well as the state need some types of improvement in many cases.
Yes.
Vision Zero is a movement and attack. Prince George's County, with the state of Maryland, introduced the Toward Zero plan. We were the first in the state of Maryland to implement a strategic safety plan during that same time. We're just tagging Vision Zero as the state General Assembly adopted Vision Zero statewide in this current General Assembly. So we've been doing safety. We have been working on improving the strategies in the county. We're just now putting Vision Zero as our tag as we go forward. Well, when you look at other jurisdictions, you look at the District of Columbia, I'm very familiar with it, 26 square miles. When you look at Prince George's County, we have over 1,900 miles of roadway. When you look at the lane miles in there, we cover a vast majority from rural to urban to suburban. So our challenge is a lot harder than those urban environments where you have maybe 1,600 signalized intersections that controls the traffic. So this is what makes us a little unique. We are a big county, and it required the 27 municipalities, the state of Maryland, as well as Prince George County to make this possible. But one thing that I want to say is that one approach that we've taken, we've teamed up with our health department. Vision Zero is not only about the crashes, it's about having a healthy community by encouraging people to walk, making it so that people are not afraid to ride their bikes in their communities and to reach out, because it's not about the person that's passing through your neighborhood, it's about the people in your neighborhood that can make the difference every day when they leave their home in their cars.
So Mr. Bellamy mentioned the health department. I just, want to acknowledge Dr. George Askew of being here from the health department. I'm sorry, Carter. Thank you so much for being here. Yes.
Well, I've been privileged to be part of this conversation. I have to thank Colonel Palazzi and our Maryland State Police for the last several years. The reality is that this institution began to look at this issue differently in 2015 when we had more fatal collisions than we had homicides in Prince George's County, and those numbers have steadily come down. What it looks like is education. What it looks like is engagement. My chief on the go, another opportunity to have these conversations one-on-one with people, because ultimately we can enforce, but each of us on the roadway, whether we're driving or walking, has to make a conscious decision to be thoughtful about everybody else. And again, I emphasize, don't assume that because you can see someone, they can see you, and don't assume that they're paying attention. Now, this morning, we were able to showcase our new cadre of motorcycles. So our traffic enforcement component has grown. We had our helicopter. We have the dedicated traffic enforcement unit. And we are going to be launching in the next week what we are referring to as Operation Shortstop. because the goal of shortstop is to stop those balls that come out from home plate fast, and we're looking at 30 days away from what? Hard to believe, my daughter's not going to be happy about it, but school's starting. Ron just said it. And so our goal collectively, and that's why I appreciate Chief Hamill for being here as well, is for all of us to start slowing that down. So you're going to see more officers. But the goal of it isn't strictly to enforce and pass out citations, right? Because you can't encourage someone to act in their own self-interest by acting against their self-interest. If we have to cite people, we will. But mostly we want to dialogue and to point out the importance of slowing down, particularly where we have pedestrians, particularly in communities like this. Councilperson Tavares made it clear. This infrastructure has made a huge difference. And that's why I'm excited about what the county executive's done, and I'm excited about what Mr. Bellamy's doing. But you will see more of us. You will see different kinds of police profiles in Prince George's County in the coming 30 days. And then we'll do something different after that, and we'll doing something different after that, because it's not a one-trick pony. It's always about evolving our strategies and doing what? Meeting the community where their needs are around whatever the issue is.
So I think that's a great question. I think obviously enforcement is important. I think it's very important for people to feel the consequence of their actions. And I have to just be honest with you to tell you, I'm taken aback a little bit just how reckless the view is that it's worth it for a person to fly through a light and to risk the lives of other people to get someplace quickly. And that's the mindset that has to be changed, which is why this effort, as you've heard from everybody here, is not just about enforcement. It's a culture change. It's a mind change. It is education that says, really, you fly through a light and you could kill your own child. This could be your mother on the other side or your wife on the other side of this. And, you know, this year we've had, in particular, a good number of deaths involving children. And the one thing that I recognize as a prosecutor, and I see even in this case, is the death of a child changes all of us. And so whereas before we saw these fatalities as occasions that affected adults, there is something about the death of a child that changes the context of it completely. So the Mejia children who were killed at the end of the year, I think, changed minds about it. We had 5 beautiful kids at the beginning of the year who were riding in the car with a relative and were killed. And I believe it changes all of us. And so this is going to take time for us to change the culture that is here. But that's primarily what this is about, is saying to people, we have to change the way we view this. And again, even in my comments, I said the people who are traveling these roads are our loved ones. That's what we have to recognize, is to be kind to other people. So it is the enforcement of it. There's no substitute for that, to hold people accountable for the things that they do. But beyond that, we're not interested in simply reacting to the awful thing that has happened. This is about prevention, about preventing it from happening in the first place, and about getting to 0 incidences.
Yes. What type of costs? Mr. Bell.
Everything that we talk about, we do every day. So it's not about creating new money. It's about how we use the dollars that we have. When we start looking at how we use our pavement marking to make the road more effective, we do pavement marking almost every day. The installation of signs, making sure that the signs are alive and bright and vivid. As we work with our development community, as they create new development, is to make sure that the roads are traffic calm as they're doing that development. So what we're doing is working with the resources we have before us and taking advantage through smart and working with our community and developing solutions that are cost effective and putting it on the street. One thing that a lot of people in our bicycle community is very important about is you're seeing more and more bike lanes being introduced in the county. It's not that we're adding new pavement, it's that we're using existing pavement to create these facilities for our biking community. We have not introduced the protected bike lane, but we have two that are on the plan to be implemented as part of a reduced street model that we're bringing into play.
So just to add, County Councilman Todd Turner, Chair, obviously the Prince George's County Council works on the proposed budget by the county executive. This year's past budget and over the past several years, the County Council working with the county executives have increased funding to the Department of Transportation related not only to paving but also to pedestrian safety and complete street projects, which they're continuing to work on. We have several in the pipeline. So we understand we don't have all the resources that we need, but we are trying to direct those resources to address those issues. And we work cooperatively, particularly on state roads, where a lot of these incidents are occurring. We don't control those as the county, but we've been able to do that on Pennsylvania Avenue, on Route 1, Baltimore Avenue, Maryland 210. So we've been working with our state partners as well to get the state resources in order to address those what I would call hot spots or really dangerous spots as part of that. So we'll continue to do that as part of our budget responsibility as the county council. So
Ray's one of our partners from Beach Tree Peddlers. Yes. I can't hear you. Okay, so your question is about the enforcement of wearing helmets. Okay.
Well, you're absolutely correct. And one of the things we had the opportunity to do this morning, thanks to the county executive increasing greatly our summer youth enrichment programs, is to have conversations with those older young people. And they've got siblings, and they again talk to the parents, because the young person's not necessarily going to put that helmet on without prompting from mom, dad, grandma, grandpa. But again, our enforcement, and it does come to enforcement in some instances, is comprehensive of all of those issues. It's just that, again, our preference is to prevent this from happening in the first place. To have kids out there constantly enjoying the summer weather safely and not having to have a confrontation over something that I think we all agree is self-evident. And the younger people are particularly vulnerable. And again, the county executive has made it clear some of the tragedies that sit before us. But yes.
Okay, do we have any other questions? Again, I'd like to thank you so much for coming out today. And please be sure to sign the pledge over here for Vision Zero. They're on the boards, and make your commitment to have Vision Zero succeed in Prince George's County. Thank you again.